If you've been following the channel for a while, you know I'm a big fan of film photography. But it's no surprise that film developing and film cost, the cost of shooting film photography has been steadily rising. I mean, it's expensive. It's a lot. Looking at a local lab like Pro Photo Supply, which does really good developing work, for basic scans and developing, it's at least $16. That's on top of the cost of a roll of film, which one roll can be, at the low end, like $8, maybe 7 if you're really looking for cheap stuff. And at the high end could be over $18 a roll or more for like professional high-end film. So what do we do? What do we do about that? Like a couple months ago, I did a video about Dehancer, which is a plugin for DaVinci Resolve and Lightroom or After Effects, Photoshop, any of your editing softwares, including now Canva's Affinity software, which we might have to do a video on later on. But that was just a plugin. And if you don't want to pay a subscription for Lightroom, like I've discussed, or you're just doing photography and you don't want to pay for Lightroom, if you're using like another off-brand editor, Dehancer has now released a standalone desktop application, desktop version of the plugin. And I think this is a really good cost-saving measure for people who are maybe not paying for the Adobe tax and still want to get that kind of film look, that kind of imperfect film look with lots of different presets and stuff like that. And it is a subscription to pay for Dehancer to use it, but the great thing is it's not exorbitant. It's $13 a month, and with the new standalone feature, the new standalone application, you can batch edit your photos like you can do in Lightroom. Like if you're in a photo editor and you want to just save presets and apply them to a bunch of different photos, you can do that in Dehancer. So you can find your perfect film stock and the perfect combination. There's a lot of settings. You can get really deep into the weeds and fine tune it exactly like you want. You can batch apply that to all the photos you want immediately. And then, you could cancel your subscription. Like you don't have to stay on it. Like if you just want to try it and see if you like it, or if you're just doing it for one big event. For event photographers, batch editing, as they know, is super important because there's no way you're going to get through thousands of photos in any kind of quick time unless you're batch editing. I think the Dehancer Standalone has a lot of great features. It is a subscription service. I've played around with it and it's fairly responsive. That's going to depend on your GPU mostly and the VRAM you've got in there, because it does take time, especially if you're doing full raw photos. That's right, this application does handle raw files, so you can just straight out of the camera if you want, and you can slap it in there. I think it's probably going to be easier if you put it into On1 or Photopea or whatever your raw photo editor is. You can just do your preliminary edits and then throw it into Dehancer, but you don't have to do that. You could just go straight from the camera raw into Dehancer first. So that's great. The layout is fairly easy to understand if you've used any kind of photo editing software before. Like I've mostly used to Lightroom, and now I'm learning On1, and yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. You got a bunch of presets on the left. You got your fine-tuning dials on the right. You can save an image as a snapshot, and it will take those settings and apply it to any of the other photos you want to do. And you just show it the folder. It shows you a full tile view. You can see all your photos. You can see which ones you've already edited. So there's a lot to like here. I don't really see any downside besides the cost, and that's going to be up to you. It works really well. It doesn't do video, and I keep saying video, but like for example in Lightroom with the plugin version, you'll have to open up the plugin one at a time, one photo at a time, and do your edit, and then close it, save it, and close it. And that's kind of annoying. In DaVinci Resolve, I think the plugin is excellent. It works in the effects page or in the color grade page, and it's really self-explanatory. You drag and drop it. But again, that's for video. That's a different thing. For photo, batch editing is so important to actual photographers who do it for money. I don't do it for money, so like one at a time is okay, but I prefer not to have to do that. If I want to have like a project and batch edit all the same edits and, you know, save my I mean, you can save a preset in Lightroom, but I'm saying in the Dehancer Standalone, you can just select all of those photos and just apply it so much faster. So that could be that really could be worth the price of admission for people who are making money doing this. So yeah, Dehancer Standalone. I want to thank Dehancer for reaching out and asking me to review the software, and for keeping up my code. You can use code Charlie10 at checkout if you want to try Dehancer. If you use code Charlie10, get 10% off, and you're helping out the channel, so I appreciate that. Anyway, thank you, Dehancer, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.